All right, so this month we are having some special prayers, defensive prayers. Now, when you study the Bible, you realize that the real purpose of prayer is for protection rather than any other thing. Actually, when you read the Bible, most instances of prayer were connected to praying that certain things will not happen. So it says, pray that you do not fall into temptation. So there are certain prayers you should be praying in your life. For instance, you should pray that God will keep you in his will. It's a protective prayer. You should pray that God will keep you humble. It's a protective prayer. In most cases, what we rather see is that if people are praying, they are praying for things. Like God should make you an accountant, God should make you an engineer, God should make you a pastor. All of those are good prayers. But in most cases, those are prayers that we should rather act by faith. And they will happen. In other words, steps of faith bring those things into our lives. But really, real prayers, as is consistent in the scriptures, have to do with praying that certain things do not happen in your life. Like pray that God will keep you alive. Yes. You pray that God will keep you healthy. That Father, all my days, keep me healthy. I cancel any form of sickness. It's not when you are sick. Because very few people will pray concerning sickness unless they are sick. But Jesus' approach that he taught us in prayer mostly was that we should pray ahead of us. And then the prayer was mainly a protection. There are so many things that will happen automatically if certain things are in place. And then there are so many things that will not happen if certain things are not in place. For instance, the Bible says that God lifts up the humble, or he exalts the humble. So if you are to pray that God should keep you humble, you don't have to also pray that God should exalt you or lift you up. Why? Because if you are humble, he will lift you up. But if God lifts you up and you are not humble, you will come down. So when you study the Bible carefully, you realize that most of the time, the prayers that the Word of God teaches us, especially when you study the prayer life of David, he prays that God should keep him from his enemies. He prays that he will not forsake God. He prays that God will not take his glory from him. All of these are protective prayers. And this month of August, we are making very powerful protective prayers. Every day from 12 to 1 p.m., just 1 hour. Wherever you may be, if you can't come here, we will be here to pray. But if you can't come here, join the prayers for the whole of this month. So it will start on Mondays to Fridays. Saturdays and Sundays, we will not meet. But on Monday to Friday, we'll be praying. Is it powerful? Now, we are reading the book of Psalms. Actually, majority of the Psalms is prayers. That is why if you study the Psalms very well, you become a very powerful person. Because everything in the Psalm is prayer. Actually, the Psalm is blessings and curses. And It is prayers. It's a song, but the song is prayers. Hallelujah. And so we are studying the Psalms, and then also we are praying. And then we are also studying Matthew. Hallelujah. Matthew is one of the Gospels that is very deep. Very, very deep. And so, you see, the Gospels reveal Jesus Christ as God. The Gospel also reveals Jesus Christ as man. The Gospel receives Jesus Christ as King. And then the Gospel reveals Jesus Christ as Son of God. Now, the Matthew account reveals Jesus Christ as a man. The John account reveals Jesus Christ as God. So there are so many things about Christ, his glorification, his beauty, that you will see in his strength as a man in Matthew. There are very important things there that every one of us should know. And as you read, God also blesses us with grace. Truth is that if you are not building yourself as a Christian, you will become a castaway. You will shipwreck your faith. So let's build ourselves in the Word. I believe that what will save this generation is the Word of God that is in us. Hallelujah. Somebody asked me that, Pastor Winfred, you seem to have gone through a lot in life. How old are you? And how do you take it? And I said that I think that what has helped me is in my early life as a Christian, I was introduced to the Word of God. Now, when people give their lives to Christ, the beginning, each of us are introduced to Christ in diverse ways. Some is through prayer. Yeah, there are some people, every prayer meeting they will come. But when you call for teachings, they will not come. There are the people, when they gave their life to Christ, God introduced them to prayers. It's important. But there are some people, God, at the beginning of their Christian life, God introduced them to spiritual gifts. So whether they had it or the person they were close to had it, and you could see the manifestations. So those people are the mystics. That's what stirs their faith. Yes, this is also very important because it's the doing of the Lord. And it is marvelous in our sight. But if you are rooted and grounded in the Word, the Bible says the storms comes, the rain, the wind, the building doesn't fall because it is founded on the rock. And I think that what has helped me as a child, Christian, is that when I gave my life to Christ, I was into the Bible. I was fascinated about the Bible. Almost everybody I wanted to listen. For instance, I grew up around prophets. I love it, but somehow I never got attracted to any of them. I had friends who could prophesy and mention names, but they were at my age, 16, 15 years. They could call you, mention your name, and tell you things. When I came to Legon, one of them was in Legon Hall, and he was looking for SRC position. He's in vice president. He had forgotten about church. But that guy is one of the sharpest prophets I knew when I was young. He couldn't survive the ministry. Even now, if he was to be here as he was then and manifesting, you will still see that, Charlie, the guy is blessed. Like a 15-year-old boy, 15 years. And he was also smallish. He was a bit heavy but short. Smallish, yes. Yeah. We surround him like that. I remember those days, Akosan School Park. There's a place in North Central in Kumasi. We surround him like that. He'll be in the middle. We lift prayers and say, you have an auntie, it's called Jenny. Then you mention young boys. He went to secondary. I think also he went to Kumasi High School. Then he came to Legon. Then no church. He was in Methodist, Presby Methodist Union on Legon campus. I didn't see, I'm not saying he had backslided, but I didn't see ministry. Like by that time, he should have been like maybe on some billboard preaching something. Because that's what I saw like him do when he was young. So the foundations of your Christian faith is very, very important to determine your future. And I think that you are still building the foundations of your Christian life. 20 years to come, you will say that when I was a young person in my 20s, I gave myself to the Word of God. So please take advantage of what is going on. Be rooted and grounded in the Word. Hallelujah. And you'll be helped. So read the Matthew, read the Psalms, and God will bless you. So prayer meetings every Monday to Fridays, 1 hour, 12 to 1. And then we are reading the Bible. When you come, we'll lift prayers. Glory to God. Now this morning, I will be a bit unconventional because of so many things. But I was studying the life of Paul. And I realized that the last place that anybody will expect encouragement from was where he sent encouragement to his son Timothy. Paul was in prison and he wrote a letter to encourage Timothy, who was free, moving about. So when you study the writings of Paul in Timothy, he was in prison when he wrote those letters. Actually, we know the works of Paul predominantly from his afflictions than from his good days. For instance, all the things that Paul preached, we don't know, except those he wrote. Paul preached so many things, but we never and ever heard of them. But when he was arrested, then he decided to be writing. So a good number of the writings of Paul, he wrote them in Rome. And Paul was taken from Jerusalem to Rome, Acts chapter 28, as a prisoner. And he never came back. He died there. So the whole of his life and ministry in Rome was the ministry of writing. All right, to the church in Hebrew, to the church in Philippi, to the church in Colossus, by his writings, we get to know the manner of life, the ministry that he had kept. But if he had not written any of them, perhaps by now we wouldn't even know about Paul. But maybe somebody would have made mention of him. And that is the only way we could have known him. But because he wrote them, we have the opportunity to know the miracles, opportunity to know, for instance, apart from the book of Acts, which was written by Luke, we don't see the miracles of Paul anywhere. If you have studied the Bible, there is nowhere in Corinthians that Paul worked a miracle. That it was in Corinth, he prayed for somebody and the person was healed. There is no evidence of the supernatural in the life of Paul, except stories of it, which he told. That he has seen the Lord, he has gone through, he has seen miracles, he has gone to heaven. Those are stories, but we never saw them, we never heard them until he told us. Apart from what Luke wrote down as Paul did this and they took handkerchief and aprons, they prayed for the sick, his shadows. But we don't really see the miracle ministry of Paul, except his writings. And when he wrote to the people, to Timothy, Timothy was a very young man. Some Bible scholars believe that he was 16 years when he was a pastor. Yeah, so he was very young. And so he decided to write to encourage him. When you study especially 2 Timothy, which has I think 4 chapters, Paul began by talking about the fact that Timothy should not be ashamed of the sufferings that Paul is going through. Like, Timothy, I know that sometimes you feel bad that I'm in prison. Sometimes you feel bad that I'm going through bad things, but don't worry. It's not something that you should worry at all. And he said that you, Timothy, to persevere. Keep fighting on. Why will he tell Timothy to fight on and persevere? Because Timothy was ridden with so many problems. And he didn't even understand what to do. So Paul was writing to encourage him about the many problems that he was going through. And he told him that he should persevere. And there are 4 major ways that he describes the perseverance of the believer. He said, number 1, persevere as a good soldier. And number 2, persevere as a farmer. The perseverance of a farmer is in patience. The perseverance of a soldier is in tenacity, strength, aggression. Strength, basically, not getting tired. Then it says also persevere as an athlete. Your ability to endure. So he told him that endure as an athlete. Then finally he said he should endure as a minister of Christ. And he added that as a minister of Christ, a time will come that people will not listen to your preaching. And he says, as a minister of Christ, your preaching will come under trial. As a minister of Christ, your preaching will be persecuted. This is how he put it. He said many people will not put up to sound doctrine. But because they have itching ears, they will heap up preachers, if you like. So people will not listen. Then he ended by talking about some of the things that will happen in the last days. I think that if you miss this place, then you miss a lot in today's meeting. We have not really understood the concept of the last days. Number 1, the last days of the Lord, which is what we mostly know. What that means is that there is a time that this earth will come to an end. That also describes the last days. But there's also the last days of your life. And the last days of your ministry. And the last days of a phase of your life. Write all these 4 because they are very important. Now, all the descriptions that Paul gives for the last days apply in all the 4 that I have mentioned. Number 1, the last days of time on this earth. A time will come, this earth will come to an end. So all the difficulties that Paul mentions that they will happen in the last days, they apply in the context of the last days of this earth. End time. Number two, the last days of your own life. If you will be 90, from 65, 70 to 90 is the last days of your life. And the things that Paul speaks as things that will happen in the last days, you will have to expect those things at that phase of your life. If you are to get people to love you, it might not be at the last phase of your life. Because the last days reveal the last attack of your life. Then there is also the last days of your ministry, which is the third last day. Your ministry. Now, because you are a Christian, God has called you. Tell the person beside you, because you are a Christian, God has called you. We went for the conference, the bishop said that there is no Christianity without a calling. Actually, Christianity actually means people who have been called. The called out ones. The church. So there is an assignment on your life that God has given to you. The last phase of that assignment, for instance, I will give you, how many examples should I give you? Personal examples, 4. So I will start with David. David had an assignment. The assignment of David was to destroy God's enemies and to establish the foundation for the enthronement of God in the midst of his people. What does that mean? Because of God's enemies, there are certain things that God couldn't do. Number one, God couldn't raise his people to worship him. Why? Because of God's enemies. Anytime God decides to raise a people, God's enemies come to confuse God's people. And then God's people will turn to idol worship. Anytime. So these are the Philistines, the Moabites, and all of these people. And God raised a man by name Saul, that Saul should kill all of them, so that nobody will interfere or affect his people. Saul didn't do well. Instead of killing all, he will kill some and leave. And the rest that he leaves, they will multiply. Until God eventually said, Saul, you can retire. Then call David. That David, I am sending you. And David did well. David actually, by the time David died, there was no giants on earth. All the enemies of God I'm talking about here were giants. They were people whose height and stature were extraordinary. They are like, you see a human being is like 3 times my height. Yes, huge. It was not only Goliath. Goliath was one of them. And at a point, Goliath was the leader of the army. So it's not as if Goliath was just one. That's how the nation was. And God decided to raise David, a very small boy. He killed all of them. So by the time David was done, he had removed everybody who is an enemy of God. But at the last phase of the ministry now of this man by name David is the time that he saw the signs of the end time. So when you say these are signs of the end, now they are signs that prefigure, that show that something is coming to an end. So what is the sign that you are coming to die? Which is the end of your life. You see the signs of it. What is the sign that your ministry is about to end? You see the signs of the end. What is the sign that this whole earth is coming to an end? You see the signs of the end. So, when David was about to end his ministry, we saw the greatest and fiercest of the persecution. For instance, David never ran from any battle in his life, but he ran from his own son Absalom. There is nowhere in the Bible that David cried when he was in his ministry. But to the last part of his ministry, he said that his tears could wet his garment. And all of those battles that became so fierce were battles he fought because of his son, which was the last days of his life. Of his ministry. Now, your life is in phases. One of the signs that you are about to move to the next phase of your life is signs of the end. I don't know if you understand the things I'm preaching. It's not showing on your face. If there was time, I would have said, bring the board. Our students these days like illustrations. Okay, first service. We'll close very soon. But I will take it again. I said that when the Bible give me, when I say give me, once you start reading, it means I have to go back to the Bible and then, so let me just give my introduction. The Bible says that there are signs of the end. Anything that is coming to end, there are signs of it. And I said that there are 4 principal endings that you should take notice of. There are many, but I'm giving only 4. And the 4 endings I am giving is number 1, the end of this earth. The Bible calls it the end time, which means it is the end of time. Actually, time will end. There is going to be a moment, a point where we are going to have what is called everlasting. Why? Because time will not end again. But time is coming to end. So there are signs of the end of time. Jesus Christ spoke about it. Matthew chapter 24. Give me verse 7 downwards. So I'm just hitting quickly for the now. For the nation will rise against nation. So he's showing you that when this earth, when time is about to end, these are some of the signs. Maybe you can start from, I say verse 1. It takes us too far. But let's say verse 1. He took him to the temple. Verse 2. And showed him the tree. See all these things. Not even a stone will be left. Verse 4. Well, tell us, when will the temple be destroyed? Verse 4. And he says, don't let anybody deceive you. I am coming to show you signs. For instance, I can show you signs of aging. Yeah, it's simple. Okay, I'll mention one. The rest of you mention some. Should I mention one? Have you seen a child born with gray hair before? So, gray hair is a sign of aging. Now, I've mentioned mine. What's yours? Wrinkles. Okay. What again? Huh? Sagging skin. Okay, close to the wrinkles. What again? So we have 3 now. Huh? Loss of bald hair. Yeah, bald hair. Because there's no child that is bald-headed. Bald-headed. Weakness. Let's generalize it. Let's say weakness in strength. So that your teeth, your jaws, your energy levels, they all drop drastically, considerably. It's also part. There's low level of concentration, so you sleep a lot. Okay. The sisters can even add menopause. Do you know there's also andropause? Yeah, one of the signs of andropause is excessive spitting. Yeah, when men are aging, they spit a lot. Very soon you'll be spitting and your wife will have issues with it. Why are you pregnant? So these are signs of aging, isn't it? Jesus Christ shows us signs of the end of time. And he says, many will come in my name. Number one. He didn't say some. He said many people. So it will be common all over. That I'm Jesus. That well, as soon as you see it, you see that it's a gray hair. So, but Pastor, somebody is 17 years, he has gray hair. Yes, it's a sign of aging. Yeah, if you are not aging, you can't have gray hair. Also, it's nutrients that are lost. Why are the nutrients lost? It's because of aging. You understand? Yeah. Or the gray hair is not comfortable. Okay, say something that is comfortable so that somebody will not. If you say gray hair, the baldness, there's another insult. If we are not comfortable with gray hair, then baldness. I've seen 17-year-old whose hair are missing. Ever will you be bald? Huh? I said, will you say, because your hair is finishing you. You don't see it. You can see it. Yeah, it's from here. Some people, yes, is from here. Some is from here. Some is from here. Like this one, his own is going back. The hair is running away. And when they go, they don't come back. Eh? That's the Ababa say. Ababa say means that we are not coming back. So these are signs. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Even at a point, putting on weight is a sign of aging because there's less activity. Yeah, that's as you start growing pot belly. It's a sign that you are growing. Have you? You see, there are people who are big, who have pot belly. But when you are not big and have pot belly, it's aging. Yeah. So that by the time you are 20, you look like somebody who is 40 or 30. Yeah, many of you are older than the way you look like. The way you are always frowning, you are always sad. You are aging. When people get into pension, you see that Omubako cry fast. Yeah, because they are not active. So when you are always sitting down, not going anywhere, it helps you to grow very fast. You have to be exercising. If you can't exercise, just do work that can make you walk or be active. So the work I do is very busy. But you sit in a bank. It's a very difficult work. But it's not a work that gives you a lot of activity or mobility. So, sedentary. It's a good word. What does it mean? Sedentary lifestyle. To be stationary. Less mobility. Okay. Sedentary jobs. So you have to do things that will make you active. So if you don't have a job that makes you active, then you have to get some treadmill or run. Like the people, and have you seen somebody who sells pure water and joins a cave fit? Somebody who sells pure water is also joining cave fit. Or you saw a Macy who is a part of a cave fit. Their work keeps them fit. So, what they do to get money, you have to do to get strong. Do you get it? So, there is the sign of the end of time. Number 2, there is the sign of the end of your life. And I said that if you are about to die, you can see. One of them is gray hair. People don't like that at all. Why do you get Now, when I talk about gray hair, Let's say you are 40, but you can be 35, 40 and have gray hair. The whole hair is white. That is a sign that you are growing. But it doesn't mean you will die at 45. It may be that you die at 90. But it's a sign that you are closer than the one that doesn't have the gray hair. Did you get it? Yes. So when your life is about to end, don't be afraid. I'm not saying you're about to die. I'm just, even what I'm saying is not part of my sermon. I'm building a point. My sermon is very short. So there are signs that your life is about to end. One of them is you have to walk like this. Have you seen that when people are growing, they start bending like this? It's the impact of gravity. This gravity thing is very strong. It's more likely to see a tall person than a short person. Because the tall person is resisting gravity more than the short person. So you walk like this. It's a sign that your life is about to end. And the difficulties, when you read Ecclesiastes, it said the night comes that no man can work. And you say that you had no pleasure in them. The Bible calls your old age as your night. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days. These difficult days, he's not talking about prophetic end. He's talking about the old age. The Bible calls old age difficult days. And it is true. Even some of us can't stand here and jump. If you can stand here, to stand here will be more difficult. But some of these small boys can jump. Yesterday, I saw this small boy, he stand on a chair and he jumps. I realized that he doesn't feel it at all. But if you are to even jump from a car, you feel like your jonku is not easy for you. All the boat starts shaking. The more you grow, the more brittle your bones become. Look at the children, they can grab when they are walking. But an old man, he falls more, his bones break. Why? Because the bones have become calcified. Hard. And it breaks easily. There's very little moisture in the bones as you grow. So you begin to, these are your difficult days. Listen, you can't chew some of this beef that people are beefing now. Very soon you realize that sugar is not nice. Yeah. You see, I used to stay with my father, so I never understood because I was very young. When my father died, I was 21. Yep. But before his death, so like 4 to 6 years, I was not with him. I didn't understand so many things. Like, he drinks coffee black. I said, there's Milo. You say you are drinking coffee. What do you get from this coffee? And it's bitter. And oh, that's what he wants. If he's doing tea, he puts the spoon, he presses the milk like this. One. Not for him, for you. I said, this man, what's wrong with him? My father never bought this sugar powder, granulated sugar. All his sugar was St. Louis. Because of the cubes, he's able to measure. Sometimes, even the one, he breaks it into 2 and puts half. Me, I use 4, 6. Then you'll be insulting me. And I didn't understand. Not knowing that old age has caught up with him, he's about to die. So all the nice things are not nice. When you are growing old, nice things are not nice again. But I ask the women, they will tell you. As they are growing like this. Like if you are here, you are married, you don't like sex. It's a sign you are aging. you see the young ones, they are like lizards. They can throw themselves on the wall and they are hanging there. As you begin to grow. Oh, have I said something bad? You see, I used to be very polite with words like this until I started doing evangelism. And I realized that what I'm shying away from is some people's thesis. And most of them. But listen, an average young person by the age of 12 has watched pornography through movies. Yeah. Movies. 16, he has watched pornography through internet. 25, he has acted pornography. So they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But you see, as you are growing, like some of you, you can walk all the way, go and hide somewhere, and you hug yourself. Sometimes when you are driving, you see them, they hug themselves like this. Nobody is talking. Hey, when you start growing, you can't even hug again. Should I give you proofs? Are you sure? Oh, I shouldn't prove it. When was the last time you and your husband you kissed? No. Yeah. I'm giving you signs of old age. Huh? Okay. He said he doesn't remember. Yes, you're married. When was the last time? Huh? Yesterday. Okay. Before yesterday, when was it? Before yesterday, like 3 months. Yes, you. Yes. Like, when was the last time? Huh? But when you married afresh, I didn't even ask you. Oh, good. Yes. You don't remember. You're married. You paid bride price. And then I want to child. I want to child. Who try? The last time he came. Yes. Last month. 3 months ago. Yes. Yesterday. Wow. Oh, now the records are improving. I'm impressed. It's because of the marriage campaign. Oh, all the married people, clap for yourselves. Yes. 2 weeks. Week. But you see, you are not married though. If I'm to ask you, when was the last time you kissed? You said that, Pastor, 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. But if you are to check, averagely in a year, the married people, it's not up to 10. Like the whole year, it's not up to 10. I'm not saying that like 10 as in like 10, whether you even do all the 10 in one day. No way. There's a sign of aging.
That's it.
It's a sign that a time has come that you don't have pleasure in it again. Well, then let me read it. It said, before the difficult days come and the years draw near. So it's talking about years. When you say, I have no pleasure in my old age. But who can tell you that your young age you don't have pleasure?
It was very hot.
Hey.
It was very hot.
Is it many people they kiss more in relationships? That's the generation we are in. Bumbo clat. If they can sit on a tree like lizards, one of the pastors, when he married, when they were in a car on their way home, but now one has to beg the other. That's a sign of old age. Okay, let me read some. Do you want to read? Okay, next verse. It says, while the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are not darkened. So there's a time that the sun, the moon, the stars, they'll be darkened. That's your eyes here. We kind of like that. Then he says, and the clouds do not return after the rain. Yeah. Then he says, in the day when the keepers of the house, they tremble. Bring my cup, I want to drink tea. Their hands are shaking. Old age. Then he says, and the strong men, they bow down in shame. Those days, Lebanon, Breno. Me primitive na me gegraguma. Akomateko. Now I'm 62 and look at this boy bluffing me. Those days come a bunny part nani tia so. Have you heard grandfathers who talk like that? That's when they are bowing in shame. They are bowing as strong men. Their strength is gone. Some of you girls, when you are misbehaving, your mother will tell you that in our days, we could hang on a tree with our legs up. Where have you reached? He said, when the grinders, your grinders is your teeth. When the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look through the windows, they grow dim. Your eyes have grown dim. The sun, the moon, and all of them, they will go off. Your days are gone. Your time is up. Yeah. Then he says, the doors are shut in the streets. That is to say that you don't go out. The doors are shut in the street, that all the street, there's no entrance to the street. What should them say? As abontin cry, a lock abontin. And when people grow, they don't go out. Sometimes you wonder, you always come to see them at the corner with their newspapers, with their television, with something chewing stick. My father used to read newspaper at dawn. Every dawn, I saw my father reading newspaper. Every dawn, you can see all of them around him. And I was acting and him come on, I said, well, I did understand when people say I'm not able to mean to me now. I get surprised. As you age, several times, to me now. Sleep will depart from you. So when one rises at the sound of a bed, 3 a.m. no money at it. The omushes so more than now ye the deck to be no wolf because you yet did no money to promote me. And now say, Brefient number because I can't come and wake me up to open the door. Be to me. Have you seen the signs of the age? Now, all these things that we are talking about, are they pleasant? So the difficulties are always at the end to give you a sign that the end is nigh. Yeah. So there's the end of your age or your days. That's when you see all the difficulties. Then there is the end of a phase. For instance, when a woman is in pain, it's the end of a phase. That is beckoning. A child is about to come. So this is what Timothy, the letter he received from Paul. Chapter 3. So now, as we are talking about the end time, I want you to apply the end time in these 4 areas. Number 1, the area of your own life. The area of a phase in your life. For instance, all the hunger you are facing in school is just the end that you are about to get a job. Oh yes. You will finish the school and you will not have, like, listen, even when you don't have a job, it's better than being a student. Oh yes. At least nobody tells you you have F. And to hear F is not easy. It changes your mood. It changes your blood pressure. So apply the end to like a phase of your life is coming to an end. And then see also the end as this whole earth is coming to an end. Everything is coming to an end. And lastly, you have to see that your ministry, if you are experiencing these things, it can also be the end. That God is about to say that, thou good and faithful servant, your time is up. So right now, I can't tell which place you are, whether it's the end of your ministry or it's the end of your life. But I think that it is a phase of your life that you should apply it to it more. But generally also to the end of this earth. Then he says, chapter 3, know this also, that in the last days. So now apply the last days to the 4 areas. Do you remember? Are you a good student? Are you sure? Are you sure? Do you understand? There is no point preaching and people don't understand. Do you understand? Yes, sir. All right. In the last day, it says, perilous times will come. So, anytime you are about to see the end of a phase of your life, of your days on earth, of the end of your ministry, or the end of this earth, you see difficult times. Actually, difficulty is what gives birth to easiness. Before every easiness is a certain difficulty that you go through. He says that now, when the end is nigh, the first thing we see is that men will be lovers of themselves. Now, when you say men, everybody loves himself, isn't it? After all, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. So yourself is involved. But when he said men will be lovers of themselves, it means that apart from themselves, nobody exists. Because Jesus too didn't say that love yourselves only. He said love your neighbor, which is somebody like yourself. But people, when they love themselves, everything they do is only about themselves. Now, if you look, for instance, as we are experiencing political changes, it's as if the more new politicians are coming, the more the love for the country is dying. I was informed that Kwame Nkrumah didn't have a house. Up to date, there's no house he built. And Kwame Nkrumah had a very bad marriage. But because he was moving all over the world, fighting for a cause. His wife wrote in her will that when she dies, she should be buried by her husband. Yeah, Fatih Nkrumah. He was an Egyptian. People think that it's only pastors that are busy. Politicians too are very busy. Actually, successful people are very busy. Now, if you don't want to marry a successful person, I can assure you, your husband will always be home. People don't know that they have contradictory desires. Like, I want a man who is rich and has time. It's not possible. A rich man is busy. So some of you that you can't be alone, you shouldn't marry a rich man. Marry somebody whose salary is 700. Anywhere they pay 700, they are always home. They pay you 700 and you do night. What kind of a job is this? Hey, night shift and your salary is not shifting. Dabi. Somebody who is busy, they become rich and they don't have time. So don't desire for somebody who is rich if you don't like to be alone. Just desire for somebody who have time for you. Or desire for somebody who is rich, which is a package. Hey, Oyamasho. Yeah. Some professionals make marriage difficult. It's in the devotional. 5 categories. The professional who is not home. Yeah. So Kwame Nkrumah is the one who brought us here. We should leave this place here. Yeah. As we see that generations come, generations go, the love for others die. So the Bible says that in the last days, men shall be lovers of what? Themselves. In Jesus' own words, he said, because the love of many was cold. In the last days, the love of many. Like if somebody is coming to marry you, he's coming to marry you not because he loves you. He's coming to marry you because you are handsome. Yeah. He's coming to marry you because you have money. It's not because he loves, because love has finished. The last time you went and they said that the government has finished, did you get some home? When it finishes, it means that there is nothing to take home. What is take home? All the teams are running through my head. But it's finished. But that's the science. Like when you see that people don't love again. Like if Kwame Nkrumah didn't build a house, I think he loved Ghana. Hey, who doesn't like a nice house? And his hometown had no house. Hey, if it is Kwame Nkrumah, if it is these politicians, they get independence for Ghana. The whole of East Legon all the way is for them. That's the package for winning independence for us. And they will say that you people are ungrateful, have won independence. Give me just Legon, East Legon, Chibata, and just divide Accra into 4 and I'm taking 2. You are saying that I'm being ungrateful after I've won. After all, if I didn't get independence, all the people that, wouldn't they be white people? I would have been okay with it. If somebody says that he's becoming president of Ghana, he will steal only 10 billion. And he will ensure that nobody steals. I guess you better than me answer. $10 billion. We will all go for Thanksgiving in his house. Thank you, Mr. President. Look. The monies they steal is not 10 billion matter. If it is 10 billion they've stolen, there will never be problem in Ghana. We will be free, we will be comfortable. But Ghana's GDP is over 300 and something billion dollars. If they take only 10, I think everything I'm asking. But this guy didn't have it. And I think that he loved this country. I'm not part of his campaign. I don't believe in Kwame Nkrumah. If you follow my teachings very well, you see that I don't really. When Kwame Nkrumah was dying, Ghana was bankrupt. I read it from K. Gwedema's book. K. Gwedema was his finance minister. So he was not 100%. But if he didn't steal to buy houses, then he has done well. He means that a certain love. But if somebody is becoming MP, it's because of the love for himself. If somebody is accepting proposal, it's because of love for himself. If somebody is proposing, it's love for himself. Even children, if they are coming, it's love for themselves. They are here to love themselves, not to love you as a parent. Now, at what point in your life will you see this the most? The Bible says that it is at the end, which is the end of your life. I'll give you an example. The time you actually enjoy loyalty from your children will be when they are young. They'll be around you. Mommy, daddy, 8 years. By the time they cross 18, you can't find them. 19, they are missing. 20, somebody is coming around. Everybody comes around, it's almost finished. Then 25, 26, 27. So a bugulon at 30, they are gone. You can't find them again. Unless they come to a church and the pastor now begin to reorient them that no, it's wrong. Once in a while, go home, send gifts to your parents. It's as if we are done with them. Only how many ones here have spoken to our parents in the last 1 month, except to collect money? So the time that you will experience that people don't really love you is when you age. And the time that on this earth we are going to see that people don't, is when we are coming to the end of this earth. And that is the time we are in. Everybody does everything for themselves. Yeah. People are getting jobs not because they want to build organization, because they want to build their accounts. People want to, that's how it is. It's a sign. They say they will love money. Loving money, okay, what are the signs of the love for money? Number one, money is the only reason why they do something. If they are going to church, it's because God has to give them money. If they will be a friend to you, it's because they see that you have money. Like, money is the only reason why they do anything they do. That's one sign. And then people who do evil for money, they love money. Yeah. See, people are prostitutes. See, sometimes the confidence is strange. But they are doing it because, although pastor, it's not like that. Some of them is because they have issues at home. But is it not money? Number three, people who love money is people who depend on money and not God. They can't see God. They only see, like, every problem is money. Money. They think money is everything. That's the love of money. Yeah. He said in the last days, you see that if you don't have money, your children will not be close to you. The last phase of your life. Yeah. If you don't have money, your wife will only tolerate you unless she's virtuous. She's doing it because of God. Listen, certain obedience is because of God. Yeah. Because when she remembers what she has gone through, she will blame you. Look at his head. Look at all these plenty problems you have gone through. What kind of marriage did I come to put myself into? But you didn't marry for anything. You married for the person. The person is alive. That's enough. But it is no more there. It's dying gradually. Yeah. So, when you are at the last phase of your life, or a certain phase of your life, you see hardship. If you are about to get rich, the last phase is difficulties. It bets you into it. Yeah. No matter how rich you are, begin to experience difficulties, then boom. I'm preaching one of the most spiritual truths you can ever find. Everything. It's the same with ministries. When you see a ministry going through certain things, it's a sign that they are about to end a phase of the ministry. I'll give you an example. Let's use our church. We were on Legon campus. I was on top of my world. I had just done a program. The title of the program is the Book of Genesis. I preached the whole Genesis verse by verse, line by line, for 3 days. And I got only to chapter 6. Then we ended on a Friday. Sunday, Legon authorities came to destroy our things and arrested us. Who gave us permission to meet here? At that time, we were meeting on Lizales. If you know Legon very well, Elizabeth Say and Aquapon. What is it called? Alex Quapon. Yes. in between. We were the first to do a church there. When we came there was nobody there. We were the first to do church there, whether prayer meeting or anything, we were the first there. 2015-16. The circus, we didn't have a place to go. We didn't know that a phase has come to an end. And the signs of the end was dawning on us. Yeah. Many people are being removed from the next phase. Out of foolishness, out of rebellion, out of demonism, out of anything. It was at this time that we saw real challenges in our church. Like Sunday has come, and we don't know where we are going to church. Nowhere. So one day we were going to church. At that time I was staying in Domain. So as we were passing in front of this place, we saw a placard on this land, boldly written, "This land is for sale." And the phone number below it. So I was the one driving. I stopped in the middle of the road. It was just here. And Pastor Albert was sitting by me. I said, "Albert, take a picture of it, the thing." He took a picture of it. Then we went to campus. Then I called all the leaders and I said, "Look, I have seen a land and we are going to buy it." They were all shouting, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Then they said, "Pastor, how much?" So I said, "Let's do the church." So at that time we had a Kwafo hall. Some people had just finished church and they had closed. So we told them that they should not take the keys to the porters. So that it's as if they are still doing the meeting. And then they allowed. And then we did the church. So as they were doing the church, I called the number. And I said, "My name is this. I've seen this. How much are you selling it?" The man, he paid Jaya. Give him $50,000. Jesus. Now, frankly speaking, if I had known the price, I would never have told the leaders. That kind of meeting we did in front of the Kwafo library, we would never have done it. But I had already told them. So when we closed, we all gathered again. Pastor, he said after the meeting, so how much is the price? And I said $50,000. This is 2016. The highest money we have seen in our church was about, I think, 11,000 or 12,000 cedis. Where are we going to get this money from? 210,000 Ghana cedis at that time. But the dollar was 3 point something cedis. Now the dollar is about 15 or 16. It was huge. Now, imagine if that money was small, do you think this lad would have lied here? Somebody would have bought it quickly. Like, a sign that Ghanaians don't have money. One of the proofs to me that Ghanaians don't have money is when I hear prices of land. Like, it's a sign that Ghanaians don't have money. Like, yeah, somebody say a land, $100,000, the land can lie there for 2 years. Nobody's buying. Like, if you go to the Malcolm here, the next land, they are now doing some story building shops. They are not done. They were a surplus. He sold 2 to Malcolm. It was left with 4. One plot for 150,000. That land lied there for almost 8 years. Nobody was buying. Nobody can buy. I've been to the man's house before. We wanted to buy it. His house is at Pillar 2 here. I've been to his house. He told me 150,000 cedis, and he has another one too at the Golf Hills. That one is 2 plus. One is $100,000. That one too, we went there. There's a gate in front of it and everything. 150,000, and nobody has the money. The land, it's just lying there. Like if you buy that land, you wall it, and you're able to keep it for the next 10 years, you sell $1 million. Which is better than all the, what do they call it? Treasury bills and all of those things. Yeah. Where my house is, the land I bought it 150,000 cedis. Now they are selling it 600,000. And it's just 3 years ago. Don't worry, you'll be able to own land. Eh? I see the way your faces are behaving. It's like, hey, any pastor, you better do what here. You see, our settlement planning is very poor. If we have good leaders, Nkoko should be part of Accra. It's just the road network. We should have strategic road network. Road Nkwa the place is developed. But we are not creating roads in between. Highways, I mean, when I talk about road, it's not one is passing and one is passing. Like 4 here type of roads in between the lands. And everywhere will be developed. Like now, they buy lands in a Pedias, $150,000, $180,000, $200,000, one plot of land. Because Kufuor did that road. That's why you couldn't climb the hill. If you're going to Abrida, car will come back. But when they did the road, now the place is very expensive. So it's just simple road network, but they have eaten the road. So the next thing is that men will love money. They will be boasters. Yeah. Then he said they'll be proud. Pride. This statement is big. It's shocking that when people are proud, they don't notice it. They don't notice it. Like, I'm preaching now, somebody is angry. That's pride. Like, why are you angry with what he's saying? What he's saying is true. Gray hair is a sign of old age. Like, yeah. Look, I've had people had problems with, like one day, I was preaching, I said that if you're 1100, you should not be in a relationship. There's a gentleman and a lady, they are in a relationship. The last time I spoke to the lady, she came to me for money about a problem. But because I said that if you are in 1100, focus on your school and don't enter into relationship. He, the boy, and the girl got angry and left the church. Now, the question is, what the pastor is saying, why is he saying that? It's because you don't know. Look, especially when you see secondary school people doing autofista, what comes into your head? Can't you see foolishness? But when you're in SS, autofista is not foolishness. How many autofista have you seen in Lagos? One day I saw 1100s today, they were girls. They were wearing Converse. And then they have put something on their hair like a headband with jeans and like they are some nigga. I say, hey, Legon girls don't do this. But they don't know. It's when they get to 200, they realize that, hey, tell 1100, they were so. Like when you meet a typical 1100 student, say, what hall are you? Say, Mensa Sabah Hall. Alex Capon Hall. What course do you do? Geography, information studies, and linguistics. These are signs of level 100. Even the hairstyle. I'm not insulting you. I'm talking about pride. Pride that, like somebody is telling you the truth and the other provokes you. You will become one of these philosophers on radio. All men are the same. Because you see, when you are in 1100, you don't know you are young. After all, those who are grown up, don't they have menses? Don't they have breasts? Don't they have body? You have all of these things. But what makes you a grown-up is not body shape, it's emotional content. When somebody is growing gray hair, it's not the weight. It's chemicals within the body. The chemicals in your body makes you young. It's not your shape or height. Like, I love you. You don't understand it. want to say that this guy is a pastor. God has given him some wisdom he's sharing with me. I don't agree with him, but let me listen. They rather got angry. And not just got, get angry. I am one of the most careful people now. Yeah. Even about my pastors. Yeah. You see, any sinister move you do, it makes me change my mind. You should know the state I'm in. Yeah. Some one line be that you like. It makes me wonder that why is he doing this? At first, I would have just ignored it. Yeah. Be straight. Yeah. People don't understand. It's later that they come to thank me, but it will be too late. Even the help that you give to people, it provokes them. For instance, this boy has gone to. Do you like good example or bad example? Good example. Yeah. There are certain things. When they are known, you are free. People don't know this wisdom. What you have been doing 100 years to conceal, and it is tormenting you. If it is known, you are free. Somebody is doing secret relationships, and pastor comes to church and says, hey, I've heard the two of you are in a relationship. People laugh at you. They get angry. Why did pastor say it? But afterwards, you are free. And you don't know that all this depression, and all of a sudden you're doing hard and sick with God, and it's the cause of it. People get problems. When the pastor comes in, they want you to solve the problem their own way, but your own way didn't work. When you solve it for them, they are free. They are hungry. What pride is this? But it's a sign of the end of a time on earth. It's a sign of the end of a phase of life. The sign of an end of a ministry. Cafes ni say come preach with Proverbs. Can we come at church? Like the end of your ministry is that your ministry is about to die. But this thing you're seeing, this sign you're showing, this will be the last time you ever do Bassenia or Locust. Check those who went ahead of you. If their ministries have not died. These signs, this is what they mean. When was it? Yesterday I met one of them. As I was going, somebody was in a car and he was with a person. Well, whom and first not call him and say, defiance. Say we're sin trance. He's ashamed. I've met him several times. I don't know whom he are not him. He said, whom he are? Ministry is gone. Your ministry is gone. Your ministry is gone. People who have won souls, their ministries are gone. People's singing ministry are gone. People's preaching ministry, it is gone. Because there are signs of the end of things. What you are manifesting is the sign of an end of a ministry. The sign of an end of a phase. It may be the sign of the end of your life. It's a sign at the end of the world. Yeah. Said the time is near. Hold fast to your reward, and no man takes it from you. Nobody can take your reward except they take your work. So all of you here, come down. I don't know, my time is up. I couldn't even start the person. But let me tell you this. Learn by humility to say, I'm sorry. That's the greatest treasure I've discovered. Yesterday, a lady tested me. Pastor, I've heard that you have asked of me from my shepherd. I'm doing well. I have not been coming to church because I am hurt. And I feel like, I don't know if you want to interpret it as rebellion, but I'm sorry. I'll come and see you. As soon as he said, I'm sorry, I said, blessings. So everything has ended. This generation can say, I am sorry. They will rather defend tomfoolery. Why can't you just say that, look, what I did was wrong. I'm sorry. And when you do that, the whole of heaven requires me to accept it, or else a curse comes upon me. It is my devotional signs of forgiveness. They are called the torturers or the tormentors. When somebody comes to ask you for forgiveness and you don't forgive, God forgives the person but holds you accountable and releases you to some spirits. They are called the torturers. They are skilled in torturing people. So when somebody is coming to say he's sorry, genuinely not hypocrisy, because God knows the difference. He has put you in a serious trouble. And I could see that lady was genuine. He said, Pastor, I'm sorry. I'll come and see you. I said, all right. Why can't we say that I was wrong? I'm sorry. What do you lose? And they'll go about winning. The church, you know. The person you are insulting, you don't want the person to know. If he knows it today, your place in the church is gone, because he will not fight you, but guilt and shame will drive you out of the church. Speaking evil about preaching. Speaking evil. Yeah, light you could about Kraman for the day at him. Said, light me. Bob was why you trans as he saw Biakotobi the Baboni demon or Kotobi as the way. Please, let's calm down. This our generation is too sensitive. Like, so sensitive. So sensitive, like, who are you? What do you have? People can feel so, say, if I say it, they will say that I'm being disloyal. That's not the case. That's not the case. A pride. So to be proud. 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 Blasphemous. According to 1 Peter, for one of the ways to blaspheme is to attack a man of God. It makes a lot of sense. If God has chosen somebody and you are criticizing the person, it means God didn't choose well. God is not wise. As like when you are insulting somebody's wife, you are insulting the person. It's his choice. Yeah, when I taught on disloyalty, I said that anybody who has problem with your wife has problem with you. Yeah, because that's your choice. Or even a lie. Imagine somebody is insulting your wife. You would finish and like in this church. I don't know anybody that has ever had a problem with me. At least, I don't know anybody in this church whose problem began with me. All of them, it began with somebody else. If you know one of them, lift up your hand, let me see. Like somebody had a problem with me. It doesn't always begin with me. This whole thing that they are doing, it began with Pastor Phil. Somebody got angry that Pastor Phil didn't say something nice about him. That's all. All of those. It's just Pastor Phil said something that he didn't. That's what started it all. That guy, it was with Pastor Samson that he had a problem with Prince Asari. He fought and I said, Charlie, come down. I came in. None of them was ever involved. None of them. So when you have a problem with a leader in the church, you have a problem, why won't you come and speak to me and let's solve it? But when you hold a problem, what you don't know is that a great door has been opened and Satan will enter. And mostly I'm the one who suffers it. None of them. I don't know anybody in the church that says that I was angry because of Pastor Winfred. I don't know any of them. Even these people who went to break up the 1,100 people, it was their shepherd who said that, did you hear what Pastor is saying? But two of you should break up. And they got angry with the shepherd. This Christian man that they went to beat us, injured us, some of them were hospitalized. It was not me. It was Justin. Where the shepherd did. They lock us in a house. Almost 40 people with sticks and things. A man of God to the Bible says should not be a brawler. Just also from Kontoka. Media initially in one of the boys, I said, anybody, you see, if you want to see a sign of an occult person, somebody who has juju, the first sign is that he's very wicked but respects pastors. That's like if you see somebody who is very wicked but respects pastors, mostly it's an occult. But they know the difference. So in the house, they were not beating me some more. They all gave me the VIP treat. One guy was coming, one guy held him like this. He's called Angola. Somebody was coming to hit me. The Angola held the guy, said, he be the pastor, challenge for not touch the pastor. And I was standing there. Oh, Tinima, they beat him. Full-time minister. The first fight we fought here over this land, it was him they slapped. The first day we came here to do roofing sheets around, he came now, hey, who is this people? Who have you? He went to challenge them. I heard the guy who slapped you is dead. Yeah, he died. Then one guy came in. He took a stick to hit my head. So I did this. And it hit my hand here. So my thumb became like this. Yeah. What did I do? A shepherd. Shepherd. All the names you can think of, including your mother. It was the husband, it was not me. That's where they started from. None of them. And I was always the one they called to come and solve the problem. Mother Church. Charlie, now we have to say, my mommy. Your baby is singing. Nobody. I don't know anybody that has ever had problem with me. Nobody. So why don't they have problem with me? Because Satan knows it. It will not work from the beginning. I'm very humble. If you are able to tell me that you're angry with me, I'll just come and say sorry. It will end. Whether you are bigger than me, small, because I'm not interested in who is right. I'm interested in peace, no fighting. That's what I'm interested in. And mostly when I'm dealing with people, two people are fighting, like a husband and wife are fighting. And I'm not interested in who is right, but I'm interested, let the marriage continue. Then I become a problem. Well, you are right, what do you get? Just don't worry, forgive, let the thing continue. Yeah, that boy, I knelt down in front of SRC building. Meanwhile, I started with Samson. And I said, oh, my son, I heard you're angry with your brother. That's what Absalom did to his brother Amnon. He killed him. What is the problem? He explained it to me and I said, oh, it's not like that. It's this. He said, no, Pastor. You are not fair. What you are doing is not right. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. So when I say I'm sorry and I'm kneeling down now, he said, what you are doing is not right. You are trying to make me keep quiet. It's not fair. You are not being sincere. You are pretending. And I said, okay. So I sat up and I said, okay, what should I do to make you okay? Then he kept talking and I realized that people are just naturally politicians. The Bible said, these are they. These are they who justify. Watch out for people who are always quick to justify themselves. They compare themselves by themselves are not wise, and they measure themselves by themselves are not wise. Then they become politicians. He has done this to me. He has won one Suchari constituency. He has won one. He has won one. He has won one. He has won one. When somebody is talking, ask the person, I can see you're really hurt. Say yes. Why? So this person said this. This person said this. Have you met the person to talk? Because I'm standing here, I don't even know if I'm offending you unless you come to tell me. So why when I see some of the things I don't understand, it's a sign of pride. Pride. Then all of a sudden they change. They don't laugh again. They don't smile again. They don't shout again. They don't flow again. It's a sign that you're offended. It's not a sign that you are changing. It's a sign that you are offended. It's not a sign that you are maturing. It's a sign that something is worrying you. And they are spirits. The difference between yesterday and today is people inside it. They are spirits. So when the Bible says the last days, difficult times will come, it doesn't mean that the last day they will turn the clock backwards. No, it means that spirits are going to be introduced and they will change the face of this earth. Watch this. Then they said they will be disobedient to parents. Aye. This one, I think you understand it. Whether spiritual parents, physical parents, company parents, disobedient. Disobedience simply means what I was doing, because you said I should keep on doing it, I've stopped. And what I was not doing, because you said I shouldn't do it, I will do it. That's what disobedience means. So that what he's doing is not because it is right or wrong, but it is because you are saying it and he wants to do the opposite. That's what disobedience simply means. Don't go there. Oh, I'm coming from there. Okay, go there. I will not go again. Disobedience. Many of you here, if I had said that, let us not go for evangelism, you would have had issues with me. If I say, let us go for evangelism, the same people who have issues that we shouldn't go are the same people who have, because the problem is not what has happened. The problem is the state of the heart. It's what the spirit of rebellion. Listen to me. I have said things that I thought people would clap for me. Like people who are saying that pastor is talking about marriage. I've talked about marriage, people had problems with me. When I stopped talking about marriage, people had problems with me. Right now, even people have problems that the marriage camp pastor is not showing interest. I'm not interested. I want to be sincere. Because in which area was I interested that didn't give me problems? We don't have money, and they will say that if you don't go some, you are not lawyer. You should go for the marriage camp. And when we don't have money, it gave me problems. Now I don't want to be interested. If you people are interested, fine. If you are going to ask my wife, if I ever come up in my house, if two people gather that they are doing marriage camp, I will go. I don't want everybody to say that it's because pastor says that we should go. There are people in this church who believe that I control people. but they have not left the church. They are in the church. And this is what they say. Oh, my, they control people. How? Now, me, I'm an English person. You must have good dictionary, but I understand the language. But as for the word control, I don't understand. So I ask people that, what does it mean to control? Then we'll put it practically, like control simply means that you are the one who forces people to do things, isn't it? Then I'll say that, for instance, there's nobody doing Bassenia in this church that I told the person to do. There's nobody who has planted a church that I told the person to do. There's nobody who is married that I told the person to do. There's nobody who is in school that I told the person to go to school. There's nobody. I just stand here and I preach, go to school, marry, be righteous, be holy. Man, come ask me. Now I can't say so when you so why will you feel like I'm not forcing, I'm just preaching? Or what I'm saying, Joel, you came to talk to me about beloved some time ago. Did I say yes or no? What came into your mind when you told me that I didn't say anything? What did you say?
I'm not interested.
Pastor is not interested.
Yeah.
You came to tell me I'm interested in this person. I said, Pastor, is it powerful? Is it fantastic? Is it amazing?
You change the topic. Right?
What did I do?
You change the topic. Right? You change the topic.
I changed the topic. Yeah. But how did you feel?
I was focusing on the things you were saying, so I was like, hey, it's like Pastor doesn't want to say anything about it.
I'm not interested because I don't want to control you. So, me grandpa in a way, and it's like I'm not a good shepherd. It's a lady who tested me last week. She's doing her job. She wants to stop the work. She sent me a message, Pastor, should I stop? I said, me. Hey! Over so much. Unyame. What? So certain people, when I hear those things from them, I get surprised. And what they don't know is that anybody they speak to will disclose it to somebody else. That's how it is. And sometimes they don't intend to attack you, the pastor. They pour out their frustrations. But I've told you, if you are frustrated, instead of saying that, the church cry, we like talking about sowing. Why don't you say rain, go away, come again another day? It's also talking. Just talk about twinkle little stars. How I wonder what you are. Rather than saying that the church is the MSA is worrying you. Talk to the pastor. Hey, I will not go and talk to the pastor. Should I say I will this lawyer? No. Nobody will say that. But the first thing is, what's your reason? When you say the reason, whether it's good or it is not good, will allow you to have your way. That's how we do it in church. We don't control anybody. When you said you want to break up, did we say no? When you say you want to break on or off or down, did we say no? And sometimes I say, oh, pastor is quiet. It's not fair. He's quiet. He's not saying anything. What should I say now? It's a sign of these spirits. Very unthankful. Unthankful. It's a sign of the last days. Somebody allow you to purge him or her. Today you are fighting with the person. It's wrong. It's called pride. Yeah. Your mother carried you for 9 months. Say that what? It's being unthankful. Your father took care of you. Your best reward is to say thank you. Thank you. But they don't say thank you. Even if you want to be angry, sometimes you don't show it. You say, now as a pastor, we are not. No. What I'm saying is that swallow your pride. Never change towards somebody who has been nice to you. I've realized that when people get close to you as a pastor, they learn more than when you preach to them. And now we can't make anybody close to us again. Yeah. Last Wednesday, something happened. Then I'll be forget up. We're at the top. We're writing. It was around like 1, 2 a.m. And some people were making noise, shouting all over. They're down here. I heard somebody's cry or something. They were shouting. And I told Onabimpo that, do you know that what is happening down there is a spirit? And he said, Pastor, somebody, I see somebody, guys. What happened?
So he said, it's a spirit, and it's a spirit of confusion. So you asked God that, what should you do? And he said, God said you should pray. So he said,
I was telling him that as they were shouting down there, as I was sitting in front of my laptop, I said, God, what should I do? And God told me that it's a spirit of confusion. And what they are doing is an attack on the church, not even the people fighting. It's a spirit that is frustrated. And it's against the church, so you should pray. And I did what?
So he said you are coming to pray. I should what?
And I told him that, watch me. So I stood at the window. They were shouting on. I just said, in the name of Jesus, I scatter all of you demons now. What happened?
So you came to sit down within 1 minute. When you started praying, the guy shouted once. Then within 1 minute, everybody left.
Everybody had left. Now, a lesson like this is not taught in preaching. We are showing how to take control of our spirits. It's when you come close. It's because I love him, that was why I let him so. I would have just stood at the back there and I stopped there and I'll come and sit down. Nobody will know what has happened. But who will ever think that this thing is a demon? Nobody. You think that's just normal. All of you whose cars were hit, they were all spirits who are angry. The first thing that should not frustrate you, forget about the car. The car is a toy. It should not frustrate you. As soon as you take that posture, Satan is defeated. The purpose of Satan is to frustrate you. It's not the car. If you lose your job, Satan doesn't gain anything. But he's gained a lot when he makes you angry, makes you frustrated, makes you sad, makes you depressed. So the events of life there, you are in charge. If it doesn't change you. All of you who have come close, you have learned things that there is no way you could have known. And politicians who have won elections, that's how they greet. When they are looking for elections, hello, they will not move. When they win the election, when they lose, he will not even wave. So there's a spirit of being unthankful. And he says unholy. If you are at the camp, Bishop, that says something. He said when we think of holiness, we think of fornication. The Bible says holy temple. Temple cannot fornicate. Yeah, if you are at the camp, that's what he said. The first day. Holiness is something that is dedicated to God. It's holy. And now people are questioning our dedication to God. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. This is the only thing you have time for. If it is not God, what else? If it is not God, what else? They say we should read chapters. They say we should pray. They say we should come to church. They say we should go for soul winning. Why? What else should you have time for? What else? dedicate your life to God. In the last days, men will not. We see a pastor, he's preaching because of money. You see a singer, he's singing because of money and fame. You see, nobody's serving God. The Ladem told me something 2 days ago. He said, Pastor, anybody who has been with you since 2016 like me will never say that you are doing ministry because of money. The Ladem said it. We were doing a meeting at the time. He said, if they have followed you from 2016 like me, he said it like himself, nobody will ever say you are doing ministry because of money. Because we have seen it. I spend more money on church members than my offering. Yeah. I don't think my offering I can actually tell my offering every month because I know my money I give every church service. So I just put it together for all the services. And I can tell my offering. It can be even half. Yeah. Different from the church welfare. It's not church welfare matter. Yeah. 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 I hear that somebody went to evangelism, they stole his phone. Quickly, who is the person? I will get your phone. If I see that it was your foolishness, I will not mind you. Like you left it in the car. Or you fall as like, why will you leave your phone in the car? Not from church. Or you want to change it for a stone, a circle. Last week I said you have become a stone boy. So let's watch out for these things. Let's watch them out. I think if we didn't learn anything at all, whatever grievances that we have for each other, they are baseless. Actually, it's pride. So, Pastor, somebody is insulting me, say it's pride. I said, yes. According to the Bible, say, why are you rather not offended? Now, who rather is the one going to tear somebody's legs? Where is our love? Where's our tolerance? Where is it? Love Reign Bible Church. Love Reign. I've seen love in this church. Somebody broke up from a relationship. Somebody broke up from like a boy, like the two of you get up. Let's say that this boy is in a relationship with this girl. And then this boy breaks up with this boy. And this girl goes to marry this boy. And at their wedding, this boy is the one who came to clean the place for their wedding. It happened in Love Reign life. As if nothing has happened. I saw the boy was mopping the floor for his ex, who broke up painfully. It's not exciting, painfully. Because I was involved in the whole negotiation. He was mopping the floor, singing. It's a love. Has it ever gotten to this point in your life? Bible says, striving against you have not resisted unto bloodshed. You have not resisted unto bloodshed. Another boy too. This one I can mention if I'm comfortable. ACN was in a relationship with Stephen's wife. And Steph got a boy called Gideon. Now, this is the examples I give that people get angry. But the reason I say I'm comfortable is I know them. Very humble people. When you are not humble, I don't mention your name in my preaching again because I know the consequence. Even when I'm praising you, I stop. Then Steph said that he is breaking up with ACN. At that time, they were writing exams. And I told Steph that, Steph, wait. Let them finish the exams. He says, no. The boy knelt down, is crying. The girl said no. Now, the following day, I was coming for, I told you the service was at least. As I was coming, I saw him. He said, Pastor, why? He said he has gone to the girl's room. The girl is there. The boy has come to visit her. The Gideon boy has come to visit this girl. Now, the exams results came. He says D. Even he said he had an F in the paper for the first time in his life. Because he couldn't write the exams. Guess what? When Steph was coming to marry, Asian was the best man. In Love Rain Bible Church. Love Rain Bible Church. You see that you are falling from the standards.
Yeah.
And it was Asian who brought Steph to Love Rain. Yeah. I think that you Steph, once in a while, Pastor Winfred said that you should not relate with your ex. Give money to Stephen and let him send it to Asian.
That's it. You have to do it.
Some 500 be. You see, listen. All of you who are struggling with your marriages, it's because your wife didn't get broken heart before. All the girls who were in a relationship before they married, their marriages are better. Because of what they suffered, they don't want to suffer it again. So he trained her for you. Yeah, the parable of the groomer. Have you seen this thing in anywhere? I know in this church, somebody who used his money he was going to use to rent to give it to somebody who was going to marry so that he would go and stay in a perching on campus. In this church. He said, oh, please take this money. What? It's not your rent. He said, oh, I can't watch you. Just take it. Where will you sleep? I'll find somewhere. In this church. In this church. And somebody has said something. Almost 6 months, you can't laugh in church. Where from you? You have been eaten by the worms of pride. Satan has entered you. What anger is this? Anger that has started for 5 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1. What at all? And what did the person do to you? He didn't do anything to me. It's the signs of the end time. People struggle to release themselves from the shackles of these spirits. If we continue, I can't continue. Unloving, unforgiving. As for slanders, they remember how without self-control, brutal, despisers of good. They are traitors. Headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure. So what do you intimate call? You call it having a bohu say. Somebody say, oh, I've heard you're married. I have TV. I'm not married. Take it. This church. Because of pettiness, this love cannot even continue. But even the people who are doing good, right now, the people I'm afraid of is people who have done good to before. Because I see people who have never done good to, they don't offend you. I'm afraid of people who have been nice to. If I see you, I don't greet you because you have been nice to me before. Well, I don't know. They are the people who, I don't know how it happens. So if, like, this girl that you came to see me, I give you money that I don't, look, yeah. Have you said to Hasana? He said, oh, hey. No. The first time was a phone. I gave him money. He came with the boy. He said, go and buy it. Another time, it was something else which is not so. And I said, it doesn't. And as I'm doing good to people, I know that something's about to happen very soon. At this day, I realize that people I don't like, I'm about to do good to them. They will fight with me and stay away from my life. But people have never been nice to. They are the people who are nice. I was telling some of the brothers that all my life, the people I have helped are the people who always mistreat me. All my life. Yes. And God was showing me my ministry, and I didn't see it. Yeah. So it's a spirit that has been released in the last days. Yeah. Watch out and deliver yourself from it. Yeah. They have a form of godliness, but they deny the power. The power of Christianity is not raising the dead. It's love. That's the power. Al-Qaeda people have cut off your head and you are going to preach to them that they should give their life to Christ. Power. Power. Now people can't do that. They can't even be nice to people who have been nice to them. Yeah. They can't be nice. 3 years time, this thing will happen. Everybody. Yeah. Nobody. I said, you, after school, this will happen. That's the whole church. But the church were like 60. So I can minister to everybody. And almost all the things I say, mostly they are not nice. And they are happy the pastor said it. These days, when you praise them, you are in trouble. I came and said, you the lady, you are in a relationship with a lady called God. I know her. She's a nice person. I do not work. You. This one not happy. This guy. A lady wrote a letter to you that he said you are what? The Jesus of something. If I had not met you. In the heat of the praises, I said that the girl will leave you. And mostly when I say it, I explain that the reason why he will leave you is that in 3 years' time, you will not be able to marry her. And in 3 years' time, the grace for this love she has for you would have finished. Because parents will come on her. And one day there's a young guy. He's a singer. All of you know him. We were in the office down there and I said, but how would this relationship work? The guy is all over on TV and everything. They can't marry. This guy is always saying that. That's what he always remembers. That makes him remember. Yeah. Then he says, why? I said it's simple. The lady is doing masters. That's why they will not marry. Some of the points you know if you are. See, you can't tell the source of pride. I can tell. There are people who can't stay in this church. I know. If it is at first, I would have called all of them and tell them that I give you 5 years. And some I will give them 3 months. Now, you see, I don't say, Pastor, I'm prophetic, and I said, frankly speaking, at first, now I didn't say a wisdom. But I said later, I'm a young who say a prophetic. Yeah. Because at the end of me, and I say, I said, at the end, I say, you are in a relationship with a lady, and you did a very nice soup to go and give it to the lady. When you came now, I said, you want to give soup, the girl will leave you. That's it. I said, Pastor Pa, the soup that she's praising me, I said that you have debased yourself, she will leave you. It doesn't even make sense, isn't it? And Pa, no, I bought life. As a Japanese book, the actual could be a prophetic. This is a guy who went to do the soup. We've laughed at him, sir. But are you angry? Because he was dying. But when Pastor came to church and we laughed at the breakup, that was all. Eben became free. Eben used to burn songs. Some of you don't know. When we talk about burning, it was Eben. Every Sunday he burned songs. When we laugh at him now, all the burning stop. Now he sings, he doesn't burn again. Eben is burning. There were snails in the soup. And crab. A man of God should not lie. Some people would have been very happy that my beloved has made soup for me, but not that type of a lady. Some of you don't know there are types. Yeah, there are types in people. This girl, come. She wanted to take care of everything. And when she came to church, I gave her advice. She has problem with her eyes, don't worry. She's not scaring anybody. The husband was telling me, what did you tell the husband? He said that you were there. You see some money that was given to the parents, or he wanted to take care of her sisters, and he took a loan and gave the loan and to do something. They ate the money, and I advised her. She didn't like my advice. And today she's praising me to the husband. I'm not there. And the husband is the one who came to tell me that the person who believes in me as a prophet is my wife. I said, why? Then he started, your husband told me. No, remind us, what did we say?
So when I came to church
afresh,
I came to see you about some of the things I do for my family, and they were weighing me down. I wanted to know how best to go about it because I didn't see myself not doing them. So how I used to give my salary to them, take care of my siblings, their fees and everything. And every time I come down to zero, all the time. I mostly never had money.
And you were taking loans?
I was taking loans to support my family and all that. At a point, my pay slip was even being requested that a loan was going to be taken on my behalf with my pay slip.
And who was going to take the loan?
My father.
Hey! The testimony is going to angles I don't like. This is not pleasant. Okay, remove that part from it and continue. Don't.
So fast forward. So I did all that, and then I came back to like nothing. I was done. My job, I couldn't continue. I came back to Accra. I was empty, like a shell of myself.
So a shell of myself.
So it was recently that where I used to teach at. I used to be in the bungalow, so I was going back.
You stay in your own bungalow?
No, teacher's bungalow.
Teacher's bungalow.
Yes. I was going to go back for my thing.
Secondary school?
Yes. And when I got back, the teacher who was there with me, when he saw me, he was shocked. He was like, what are you doing here? I said, I'm coming back for my thing. He said, your sister has come to clear everything. And the same expression, like
you want to free. Like you shouldn't even know that they are going to clear things. Don't mention your name so that those who listen online will not know who the person is.
So I intentionally told him, I know, but I just came to check whether like nothing was left behind. So that because I don't know.
When they came to even tell me that they are going to clear their things. But when they cleared, they didn't bring it to you.
No. I saw her status, and I saw some of the things in the kitchen.
Like your kitchen, rice cooker and things.
Yeah. So I asked her, "Is it the place we used to stay that's on the status?" She said, "No, we needed some of the." So we went for some. I got bored. I even wept. I'm like, I brought me so. So when I went, and I was like, "You said some." But now it seems it's everything. So you should have just told me that you went for everything. So I won't go and embarrass myself in front of the teacher. When I called home and I was now talking, they couldn't understand why I was bored. Like, Pastor, I think it just finished me. And I was telling my husband that when I came to Love Rain, and at that time God was blessing me small, and I listened to Pastor. By now, I don't know where my life would have been.
And they will say we are controlling them. Do you know what I said? I said that you cannot carry a load that is beyond your strength. Your mother may be sleeping in an uncompleted building, but until you got a job, that is where he is staying. So do only what you can do and don't do beyond that. It will break you down, you become poor. And when you become poor, the two of you have become poor, not only one. They got angry. Like your salary is 700. You are taking care of your brother who's in the university. Let us stop going to school. Why? One day God will bless you. You find a job for you. But if you can go, but you can't. You have started your shop attendant. You say you are going to bill for your mother. What kind of ambitious or audacious Wait, there's called ambitious audacity.
Pastor, the most
He
annoying
said, if you had listened to me, what would have happened to your life?
Pastor, because at that time,
So all of you say I'm controlling. I'm showing you that nobody allows me. So it's not. I'm not allowed. When I talk, people don't listen because I realize that I'm wiser than a lot of people. So when you are talking higher like that, they think why you don't want me to love my parents? And I'm saying that when you took money for them to do the pig farm, what happened?
Pastor,
You took a loan.
Pastor, it didn't go anywhere. And at a point, like my external family members were also coming in.
The nuclear family extended also. And he's just a government teacher, secondary school teacher. It's not that he's a lecturer.
Like, I'm surprised at myself now. When I look at myself then, I'm surprised that I even had that boldness. Like, how can I be doing all that? My cousins, uncles will come and I'll be giving money as if I'm working at a bank. And like the folly.
And he's telling, now that he didn't allow me to control her, no. He's now telling the husband that if I listen to pastor. Let me tell you something. All of you here who want to change the life of your siblings, they will never be changed. I can prove it to you, but me no transfer me can't be. Somebody who has handled his own life for 35 years couldn't change it. You want to use 2 years to change it. What you can do is to give him money to eat. But to give him money to start business or to never work because he has started so many businesses, he ate the business at funerals. Just pray that God will bless you, get a lot of money. Then you can go and say, oh, my brother, I bought you a car. My brother, I bought you a house. But to say that they should do, if they have brains to do business, they would have done it long before. In most cases, say, oh, I'm doing it with my brothers. The one that they do together. Oh, clap for Jesus. Like. You are married, you open the same bank account with your wife, you have the same bank account, only one. You will not listen. You say, Pastor is trying to divide my relationship. I'll just keep quiet. So the two of us, we love ourselves so much. Our salary come from here, it enters here. Hey, Pastor, why are you, the two are one? Why are you dividing and subtracting? And none of that will say, it's not that you don't trust your spouse, but give yourself 10 years, 5 years before you have the same bank account. You'll be there. Your husband will be using your salary to be taking care of his cousins, and his own children's school fees are not paid. Because human beings respond to pressure. The pressure you give is not stronger than the pressure the mother gives. You will not understand it. You cannot predict the spending appetite of your spouse. Recently, my wife bought a gift for everybody in the class of Fanuel on Fanuel's birthday. What a good wife. Clap for Jesus. But me, I will never do that. Even if it is 200 cities. So maybe some people they do it, but you too, if you don't do it, now if I don't do it, will I die? So I have strength to carry shame. It's shameful, but I will not do it. I will not do that. If your account is together, this is some of the projects the account will be doing. When I came on plenty things, package, the whole class. I said, wow, you're a good wife. But me, I don't have that grace. I don't have that grace. Birthday. Even out of shame, I ordered for cake. That they will come and cut it to the children in church. It was out of shame because if somebody has done this birthday party, bring me cake. And I said, share it among them. It was in church. And I will never do birthdays. What for? I say, I did you a yesika for brabo. For 2 pools, I had an animal baby at yesterday. Professor Solomon made me like we talk like over 3 hours. And I say, "Eya nani pa ye nana no be no mabu ato no. Ya am funny serious. Ye nana no mabu baby atoto. Sa be no. Eye PhD thesis. The whole proverb is a PhD thesis conclusion. That ofiti Paul si amoja beba. Continue ya ikonachi. Sa proverbs a PhD no ma twere de ato. Ti wo a wonte ase ensuo don na ko wanyina wonte ase. It will be like that. Celebrations. She can hear 100,000 high birthday in this car. Also, 25 for one. And you are seeing now also the quiet birthday. Maybe. And she can for bravo. And then me was carry a mayor. Mimi was coming, and I mean, Mrs. Carmen, her hen. Benim Tamamina. I'm serious. So, Pastor, are you not going to treat your children well? Oh, I'll treat them well. But what I'm saying is that there are certain things, when we advise them, they don't take it. They don't take it. They don't take it. I've even one of my pastors, his parents are always worrying him. Do this, do this. What I tell him to do, he doesn't do it. I say, always send them money before they call you. And send them what you can send and let it end. If your salary is 2,000, I think that you can send like 500 to 700. At most, I mean. Oh, but you do think that I'm saying 50? Not 50 cities. Oh. Some of them, they give as much as their salary is 2,000. They give 18,000. And they use 1.5 years to pay. Or see, the crowd with their cost bank loan. I know him. She didn't even know. They call her, yes, your pay slip is here. Somebody is coming to use it for a loan. Who is that? Is this person? Ah, okay. Let him take. And so sometimes there are people, it's only the church, they have a solution. And the audience of life will call him. Some people, it's only church they can find counsel. It's only to the pastor they can find joy, hope. So, if everybody here is to tell their stories one by one, you will never criticize my preaching again. A lady went to get a 1100 beloved. They took her to a nightclub in East Legon to smoke weed. She stood at the top of a building and fell down and broke her spine. Me can't so much I was saying. So when them stories nina, cowbell born sama mami. Oh Anna, you are checking only yourself, but me checking everybody. And you won't name the air course baby. Okay, so one when you have. I can't have was my wife and the person. Obidia crowd and Shani Moto watch it. Put your hands together for Jesus. And take your seat. Take your seat. Have I been helpful? I'm showing you that these are things that happens in the last days of your life, of your ministry, of a face and then of the earth. Apply it everywhere. You will see that. Is it? As soon as you get a job like this girl and all of this pressure is coming, it's about you're about to lose the job. The end of it has come. How much were you owing? 72,000 of loans that not that I know they are told we got show. Like disbursement, finance minister. You couldn't even tell. I see, even when some of the banks, when she had finished paying, they were still subtracting the money from her account. And she couldn't tell which of them because loan not does. But still I know more teteno. No salary no. You can hide it 10. Nasa. And some of you have made all these kind of decisions. Ralph, his father died and left him money. He came to see me. What advice did I give you? If you don't remember, I'll remind you. He lost all the money. Or he didn't lose it?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
What advice did the controlling Winfred give to you?
So, Pastor, I came with Prophet Eric.
The first one I said he's going to do farming. I looked at him and I said that go and put the money somewhere for 3 years. Then I said go. He didn't listen. I said don't touch the money for 3 years. Many of you, I said, "Si can buy no adrenaline a pager." Na oteki aba. It was a lot of money. He did so many moves and businesses and trips. Do you remember? If I was in front of someone, I said, keep the money for 3 years, don't touch it. Because until the money came, you were living. You didn't die. So spend 3 years to generate an idea to use the money. I said, if any BBC kadam, yana nanoma bu baby ato. Yana nano bena, sikadam chese sika abba so at once no. I will say we use like what one will be a hit to 200,000 a year. All of a sudden, now very ubu was also make cotton condom. Like all manner of ideas. Like if any sikadam or bosikadam, like why what was the first business you did?
To import a car.
Huh?
To import a car.
You wanted to import a car?
So I did import a car. And then I think I took too long in selling because I was a novice in the business.
Wonderful. Wonderful. German they say wunderbar. Yes. You are going into boxing and you have never trained. We Anthony Joshua, Manny Pacquiao, Eko Jina ringi mu. The business now, ringi mu na uko jina. People will take it, they will not pay. You have to have what it takes to collect your money. You don't have it. Use 3 years. But they didn't listen. If people were to listen to me, you would never say I'm controlling people. And I can also give examples of people who listened. Yeah, Alexa has got it up. She should have been the first to start. He was fighting with the wife. The father. You should have. We will not say the testimonies for them. The lad them didn't. Did you listen about the Gorda issue? Not at all. Joe, did you listen? Not at all. In front of the kitchen at Domi. Yeah. Did you listen? You didn't listen. Huh? Under the mango tree.